Hello fellow booktubers, my name is Lauren, you're watching Dreams Books Courage, and today we are doing another book tag, and today's book tag is a Taylor Swift book tag. And I love Taylor Swift, and I love books, so I felt like this would just be another perfect tag for me to do. Especially because Taylor Swift is going to be releasing her upcoming album soon entitled 1989, and she just released her first single from it. This tag was created by The Book Life, so I'll link her awesome video down below. I would definitely check out her channel. First up, we have We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. And for that, you're supposed to choose a book that you can't decide whether you love it or hate it, but you keep coming back to it. And for that, I chose Twilight by Stephenie Meyer, or really the entire saga, considering I've only read the first 3 books and not Breaking Dawn yet. I can't decide whether I love or hate the saga, mainly because of all the hype that has been built around it over the years. Yes, I initially loved the books, but as years went on and the movies kept coming out, it just seemed like it was getting a bit overwhelming, so I kind of drifted away from the series as a whole. Which is why I still have yet to read Breaking Dawn, but I probably will be reading that pretty soon. But my main reasoning against not reading it yet is just because of all the hype that has been built around the Twilight saga. Next up, we have Red, which obviously refers to a book with red on the cover, and for that, I picked Paper Towns by John Green, which is going to be made into a movie in the upcoming year. I really enjoyed this book, especially the whole road trip and mystery aspect to it, and the night that Quentin and Margot share was just awesome, and I would really love to go on that same adventure. Overall, I loved all of the events that happened within it, from them looking for paper towns to going on an epic road trip, and I feel like that whole sequence of events just looked like a whole lot of fun. I would recommend this book for a whole lot of people. Any John Green fans, any people who love to read road trip books or mystery novels, anything like that, I would definitely recommend you read this book. The next song up is called The Best Day, and I'm supposed to pick a book that makes me feel nostalgic, and for this I picked Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney. I love all of these books, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Although this is definitely middle grade and it has a lot of pictures in it, this entire series brings me back to those awkward middle school years. And although a lot of times we don't like to refer to those years, it's very funny to look back on them throughout these books and see just all the awkwardness that middle school really is, and these books are just so hilarious. I'd recommend them to anyone who just wants a very, very quick read. These are great books to get kids into reading, and also these books are just awesome by themselves. I love all of these books, and they're all absolutely hilarious. The next song up is Love Story, which refers to a book with forbidden love. And for that, I could pretty much pick every YA book ever, but I will pick Where She Went by Gayle Forman, especially since If I Stay, the movie is coming out today. I absolutely love this book even more than I loved If I Stay, and although it had some even sadder parts, to me, I felt like the forbidden love in this was just beautiful and it broke my heart. This is a duology that I definitely recommend to John Green fans, especially if you love a book that makes you cry but makes you feel good inside. I would definitely recommend this duology. And Where She Went was definitely beautiful, especially the ending, and it was just wonderful, and it really did remind me of the song Love Story. Next up, we have I Knew You Were Trouble, which refers to a bad character that you couldn't help but love. And for that, I have President Snow from Mockingjay, especially by Suzanne Collins. And it's not exactly that I love President Snow, because I definitely don't, but I do think the man is an absolute genius for the system of Panem that he created. And this goes for most dystopians, that the leader actually is kind of a genius for being able to control all of these people. But without President Snow, these books would have been nothing. Which might actually be a good thing, because then, you know, there wouldn't have to be a revolution. But still, President Snow is a genius because of all of the plots he thought up. Yes, he might be evil and out to kill children, but at the end of the day, you can't deny that it's extremely impressive to be able to put all of these people under your control without them even questioning it. Next up is a song entitled Innocent, and that is referring to a book that the ending was ruined for you. And for that, I have Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. And no one actually ruined the ending for me, but the inside cover did. Just to show you briefly, this is what the inside cover looks like. I'm definitely not going to show you the whole thing, especially if you haven't read this book, because although the inside cover features a beautiful family tree of everyone and how their families turned out, it shows exactly who ends up with who in the end, and that was so upsetting when I was just like, oh, what a pretty inside jacket. and then the ending was spoiled for me for basically all of the characters. Although there still was one twist at the end that I didn't expect at all to happen, I did end up knowing who ended up with who, and that kind of ruined it a bit for me, but still, Clockwork Princess was still an amazing, amazing book that I'd recommend to anyone. This entire trilogy and the series by Cassandra Clare, they're all just such amazing books. Like, just go read them to understand what I'm saying. Up next is one of my favorite songs by Taylor Swift, and that is Everything Has Changed, which refers to a book with extensive character development. And I don't think I've ever seen a book with more character development than The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. This book was absolutely amazing. I'll link my review of it down below, but I just had to have a book discussion on it because of how amazing and life-changing this book really was to me. The main character of Amir goes through a lot of different changes throughout his lifetime, and he faces a lot of very, very difficult decisions, and he doesn't always make the right choice. It's crazy that at the beginning of this novel, Amir is just such a selfish character, and by the end he has completely changed his ways. It's a beautiful story and features even more beautiful character development. Next up, we have You Belong With Me, which is about your most anticipated release of 2015, and for me, it's definitely Lady Midnight, which is going to be the first book in the Dark Artifices trilogy by Cassandra Clare. And you guys know already how much I adore Cassandra Clare and her writing, so I'm extremely excited for this upcoming novel. It's going to follow Emma Carstairs, who is introduced in City of Heavenly Fire, so I definitely check out that series along with the Infernal Devices trilogy before you even get onto the Dark Artifices. But I'm super pumped for this because the ending of City of Heavenly Fire just made me want more. Emma Carstairs seems like she's going to be an amazing protagonist, and I cannot wait until this book comes out. And the final song is Come Back Be Here, a book that you would fear lending out because you'd miss it so much. And for that, I definitely have The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and I know I mentioned this book a whole lot, but especially this edition because I have John Green's signature right here, and that is worth so much to me. Since he's my favorite author and this is my favorite book, then of course I would definitely fear to lend this book out, and I don't think I ever could. But for anyone who doesn't know what The Fault in Our Stars is about yet, I would just go look it up. There are a billion videos about it, or you could just go see the movie, but I would definitely recommend reading this amazing book first. Even if you don't like Taylor Swift herself, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'd make sure to look at the links down below, especially at the Book Lives channel because she is awesome. And I'm gonna go get back to reading, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye!